Hey guys, in this video we'll be covering the story of Adnan Sharif and his startup company, Lyrata Inc. But first, let's start off with some background info about him. Adnan was a 2016 HIS graduate and went to HIS for 6 years. His cultural background is Bangladesh and Japan, and he came from a city in Hokkaido, Japan called Kitami. But why did he come to HIS? We asked him, and he said that it was because HIS was one of the few international schools in Japan with boarding programs. Some of his favorite memories from HIS were the ad hoc trips, also known as Adventure Hokkaido, the school's optional outdoor trips. Adnan is now pursuing his master's degree in chemical engineering at the University of Toronto and is also working on his startup company, Lyrada Inc. Keep watching to learn more about Adnan and his company. Thanks.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present my company today. So my company is called Lyrada. We're a company that is setting out to disrupt the hydroponic farming industry. And what do we do and what is Lyrada Incorporated? Now, Lyrada Incorporated is an AgriTech company. We just started Canada's first and only urban agriculture research facility. So this is a aerial view of our research facility at the University of Toronto in the heart of downtown Toronto, one of the most expensive pieces of real estate that you could get into the world today. Our research facility has also been featured in the news, and our goal as a company is to research novel hydroponic technologies. Hydroponics is a way of growing crop in soilless environments in nutrient solution. So we build all the tech that goes around it, the chemistry, the systems, the data management, and all the operational know-how to allow someone to grow high-yielding, commercially viable crops within an urban space. Now, why do this? So currently in the market, most commercial hydroponic systems are very high in energy consumption. Take lettuce, for example, from many of the competitor indoor farms I have to compete with out in the greenhouses in Quebec. Some of these lettuces produce up to 8 times more emissions per kilo of lettuce. And then this is mainly due to the energy usage that's needed to keep these greenhouses at a certain environment. Also, the grow media used to grow it. So grow media is basically hydroponic soil. It's chemically inert, and its only purpose is to just hold the plant in place and retain nutrient solution around the roots. Currently, the industry is heavily reliant on a material called rock wool, which is mined rock and requires high heat and high energy manufacturing practices to create and get it commercially ready for hydroponics. In addition to that, a lot of these indoor farms are still located far away from urban centers. And so there's a large portion of that product that's wasted during shipment due to very complex logistical chains for them to get into the city, and then also the CO2 emissions related to transporting it over. Making about a kilogram of lettuce that you could buy out into the open market today, about emitting 32 kilograms of CO2 equivalents, which is quite a lot. Therefore, we developed what we call our Smart Grow system. And the Smart Grow system has one of the world's lowest carbon footprints. And that's mainly because we use a significantly less amount of energy, up to 60% less energy usage per plant. And that's because we have proprietary technology that allows us to use existing indoor climatized spaces rather than going out and building something outside of the city. In addition to that, we completely revolutionized smart hydroponic grow media with our PCT patent pending smart soil grow media, which we PCT patented in 2021, which has a significantly lower carbon footprint, is also a 3D printable hydroponic grow media, and is one of the world's only recyclable grow media as well. So we actually reuse the soil multiple times, and we have a proprietary process to allow us to do that as well. Making our lettuce that's grown in our system emitting up to 4 kilograms of CO2 equivalents per kilogram of lettuce. And then lettuce is just an easy crop for us to prove our proof of concept out with this, but this large disparity in carbon footprint between existing crops and our crops grown in our system in terms of carbon footprint is true for many, many different crops within hydroponic environments. Now, how did Lyrata start and how did we grow to what it is today? So these are my co-founders. On the left, you'll see Carol. On the right, you'll see Leo. We're all basically scientists and engineers that have gotten together. I actually met Leo and Carol, who were actually interning at my company 2 years ago, and they were just so good that I wanted to bring them onto the team. I started this out with two other friends at 2020. Most of them have left for other career aspirations, but since I'm still here in Toronto, I still put in a lot of time and effort into the company. Since 2020, there's been over 50 UFT, so University of Toronto, scientists, engineers, law externs who've worked on this project. I'm part of an incubator program out of the University of Toronto's engineering faculty. And so as one of their best startups, we get access to a large pool of interns. So UFT law students, engineering graduate students, and many scientists who come in an internship at our company to help us meet certain milestones and objectives. Aside from that, the company has garnered over $700,000 in entrepreneurial support from the university, the government of Canada, and many other organizations around Toronto and Canada as well. Aside from that, what is our future plan and goal with this company? Currently, I'm trying to raise a round to expand within the greater Toronto area called the GTA. So these are just a small sliver of companies that we're currently securing deals with to build those indoor smart grow farms for. Aside from that, our overall goal as a company is to replace Grodan. So that grow media I had explained to you before, that was made out of mined rock. Grodan is currently the global standard for hydroponics and hydroponic growing systems, and we want to completely replace them globally and become the next new hydroponic gold standard. Now, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced throughout Lyrada Inc's journey? One of the biggest challenges I faced was creating and managing an engineering startup without an engineering degree. So as this photo shows, I did an undergraduate degree in molecular biology and biochemistry, which is absolutely unrelated to what I do and nothing I learned during my undergraduate career carried over here. So there was a lot of learning I had to do in an entire engineering undergrad's worth of content I had to quickly compress into my brain and make sure that I'm able to articulate various different concepts clearly and effectively. Aside from that, I'm currently in my master's. I'm doing a master's of engineering to hopefully later on get licensed as a professional engineer in Canada in chemical engineering at the University of Toronto. This image shows you what my master's project is really about. I help create automated labs for a group of scientists in Toronto called the Accelerate Consortium, who are looking to help basically replace a lot of laborious work in the lab with robots. And so completely unrelated to what I did before. And so there's a huge learning curve I'm experiencing in my master's, and I'm doing my startup, managing my startup full time. So there's clients I meet, there's employees I have to manage, there's all sorts of things I have to do. So that's just been a big hassle in my life at the moment. And then lastly, one of the biggest challenges was building a hard tech startup in Canada. So what is hard tech? Hard tech are companies that are basically creating new knowledge. And this is the hardest startup that you could do. And then also doing hard tech in Canada is one of the hardest things you could do, mainly because hard tech people deal with physical products, which takes a longer time to iterate, develop, and get into market than a software, let's say, for example, that you can quickly fix on a computer. Outside of that, in contrast to many of the tech companies that you see out there, hard tech companies do groundbreaking science, meaning let's take Google or Facebook, for example. They didn't invent the internet. They didn't invent machine learning. They take knowledge that's already existing, package it together and create it into a product and put it out there. We, however, have to create the science ourselves. So we actually go out there, similar to what a scientist and researcher would do, figure out a completely new solution and scientific way of solving that problem than figuring out how to quickly market it. Meaning that a hard tech company is incredibly capital intensive. You need a lot of money to just get one product out of the door versus a software company would just need a server, a few people, a lot of coffee, and computers, whereas we need entire labs, highly paid engineers and scientists, a huge legal team to make sure we're patenting things and protecting them as much as possible, and then all the money you need to run a lab and have proper operational and safety compliance. Yep. Thank you so much. Take care.